get that going here. Alrighty.
I'm actually loaded in this time, so that's alright.
Whoa. I haven't checked mine. I'm still getting people.
Also, I went to get some water, and then my old friends vodka and lemonade were in the kitchen, so it should be a much looser Exceed stream.
That's a good idea. Let's have the interstitials coming up here. Alright, looks like... Assuming we're in the right room, I assume that Salcoda is the correct name. Yes, appears to be the case. Cover the mic for me. I'm gonna go grab a drink of my own while they set up.
Sure. I'm gonna drop in chat real quick and just make sure that this is the right match, although the password works, so...
Yeah, I presume so. But yeah. Alright, be right back.
Gonna go ahead and ask them in-game chat real quick to make sure everybody's fine with streaming. Normally Ogre is so good at doing that up front, but just make a point to do it here to be all good. Everybody's picking their characters right now. I'm gonna go ahead and jump over right now and pull up their rosters for this tournament so that I can try and do some guesswork, see what we're gonna see coming out first. We're going to do our level best to analyze all the insanity of this match. No guarantees, but if we can shed any light and provide any entertainment, that's exactly what we're here to do. Getting that roster sheet up now. Sure wish I could see the chat so I can interact with any of you potentially lovely, maybe out there people who are tuning in right now. Alright, and my roster is pulled up. This should be a good match. I haven't seen any of Snake's matches on stream yet, but Snake is very much a player to look out for, somebody I've been pretty worried about facing, should I ever get that far. Snake's coming in with Cyrus, Ryu, and Zsolt in his pocket. Then we've got, I'm not sure what the Discord name is, his opponent, General Cog. I guess we'll find out here in real time once he sets, and I do some process elimination on the other side. Looks like both players are ready, the bags are being brought out. It seems like we're going to see Bison versus Zsolt. Should be a pretty interesting matchup. Two characters that are comfortable with a little bit of range, and both have some good mobility options. Both characters that sort of get their damage out in a slightly different way. Zsolt likes to build up. If you've played against an Assault who's successfully exceeded, then you have definitely seen that. Bison brings a lot of damage to the table up front. He really makes no bones about it. Bison's here and he's big and he's here to hit you. He plays like a boss character and he certainly feels like a boss character when you're playing against him, especially if you're a new player. Bison can be pretty oppressive between all of his mobility options, his high damage, his UA, which lets him build up gauge, and if you're a new player or an experienced player, you know, gauge, pretty important. Looks like the other options, just for, you know, posterity, that could have been here is Tinker Knight or Eugenia, coming from General User up there, General Cog.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh, looks like I didn't even miss the start. Missed the start. Jeez, Louise, tongue-tied as heck.
Hey, you got back just in time.
Awesome. Throw that on for now.
I was just going over a general overview of Zsolt and Bison. Do you have much familiarity with either of these guys?
I play a lot with Nix, who is a Zsolt main. Basically, from what I understand, is Bison never wants to make a mistake, and Zsolt wants Bison so bad to make a mistake.
Mhm.
Because once Zsolt gets his setup goes, he can just capitalize for a long time with his Exceed ability once he gets that going.
Yeah, I was explaining it sort of that Bison brings a lot of power up front to the match. He's got a lot of great cards that he really likes to hit people very hard with, and Zsolt needs a little bit of time, but if Zsolt goes unchecked, then Zolt's just going to run away with it.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Seeing Bison go first. I don't know if y'all's meta is like this. My local meta for Bison is to make sure you start every game with Bison dollars in your hand, to mulligan 5 if you need to get Bison dollars, and then turn 1 Bison dollars. It's just sort of the appropriate opening for a Bison in our local play.
Yeah, no, that's a seems like a strong opening. Gets you card advantage and gauge advantage right off the top. You also get to mention that you have Bison dollars, which is such a good thing from the lore of that series.
Any game where one of my opponents in my local meta is playing Bison is 80% us talking about the exchange rate of Bison dollars, and then 20%, good Exceed play.
And it looks like you called it. Bison dollars come out.
Well, this match has been blessed. I feel pretty good about what we're doing here.
For me, this is the first time I've ever seen the Bison dollars play, but for you, it's just Tuesday.
It's
Really hope our viewers are in the Eastern time zone.
That was really good.
I'm glad that the stars aligned for this joke to become possible.
I'm mostly just glad that General's in on the Bison meta.
Alright, what do we got here from Zsolt? Looks like I'm gonna go ahead and move in. That makes a lot of sense. I know in general Zsolt has a lot of good ways to win range 4, but from my understanding, Bison just has a lot of scary options pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, Bison's got a lot of step in. Almost every one of his specials has an advance, a close, something like that sitting on it. In fact, I said almost, but literally every one has some step in. So Bison really excels at this sort of closer range, but it doesn't mean you're safe further away from him either.
Absolutely. And Zsolt really wants to be at range 1 to 4 in general, from my understanding. Or 2 to 4, actually, more so than 1 to 4.
Yeah, same with Bison. He prefers to have a little bit of distance so that he can step. One of the only strategies I find effective against him is to play somebody who can stay right up in his face. Really punish him at range 1 when his cards are a little bit below curve, because they're sort of expecting that extra range from stepping in.
Alright, looks like we've got a critical versus an EX here. EX cross step is going to go ahead and go first. But doesn't look like it's going to stun out Summer Skull Diver. So, just kind of
6 guard on the Diver, and it's going to be power 5.
Yep, that's a 5 to 5. Bison, of course, gets a gauge, but we get the very important Battle Fugue transform on Zolt's side. So,
yeah, hard to say who really gained more advantage. I mean, the transform's out absolutely, but the other side is cross-up's one of the only things that has advance, which really lets Zsolt move past people on a strike instead of close. And Zsolt has put himself squarely in the corner against Bison.
yeah, he definitely wanted to have the ability to get out of this zone. Oh, hey, quick backdash. I know this one. I played Sagat. This is a good attack. Oh, and getting the armor and guard on it. Zsolt notably doesn't have a whole lot of easy ways to get around that other than Evil Eye. And of course Spike, which is in range. Go ahead.
Are you still seeing Somersault Skull Diver sort of in the middle of Bison's play area, or has it been moved to his gauge?
I am not. If you want to make that not sit there, if you I can just sit down and click on it. That should have done it.
Delightful. Yes, it's now moved. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Meantime, we got a light coming out from Zsolt. And Bison will tech that out. He doesn't want to deal with that extra speed on his ult.
No, nobody does. Zolt's fast enough as it is.
Yeah, I mean, between Bison and Zsolt, there's a decent amount of speed back and forth just on their specials. Zsolt has some faster options, notably Cross-Up now, and Fatal Eye. But just about everything else is in the sort of 3, 4, 5 range where Bison lives.
Yep.
Specifically 4 or 5.
And it looks like Zolt's really trying to close in there. As you said, keeping inside of Bison is gonna make his options a little bit less scary. Strike coming out from Bison here. He's got, of course, the defend up, so there's a lot of safe options for him here. What do you think that is he's throwing out there?
Honestly, with all the advance and close, it's difficult to tell. This could very much be a head stomp. I didn't see him critical it, though, and normally you would.
Oh, looks like it's Assault into Gunblaze. That works out pretty well for Zsolt here. Trade up 1 damage. Although now it is Bison's turn again, but the, hold on.
He decided to take the draw with Gunblaze.
Yeah. Is the boost going to go to the discard? Yes. Okay. Probably. Yeah. Well, let's gonna have him.
The options more than he wanted the damage.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense since Bison has advantage here. So going into that with cards in your hand are pretty good, especially with all the ways that Zsolt has to gain advantage back. Bison will go ahead and prep though. So. Alright, we see Zsolt carefully considering his options here.
So far, General not really taking advantage of Bison's decently strong UA, but this has been a very sort of quick-paced back-and-forth game. A lot of strike and a lot of interplay between the two, so he just feels like he doesn't have the room to do it.
That's true. And it looks like we're getting a light dropped here, so maybe we'll see the other tech come out.
Tech.
Yeah. Looks like it. Oh, well, maybe not. Even so, sometimes it's valuable just to see what your opponent's considering and the way they're turning their cards. Sometimes you can kind of get an idea there. The Zsolt player might have an idea that dive existed in that hand. Ooh, looks like we're getting a reading instead. This could be very interesting. I wonder what's getting read here.
Ooh,
Spike.
Spike, trying to make a full
Oh.
whiff. Oh, it looks like it.
Alrighty, that's just going to be a clean win here for Bison.
Yeah, and Bison, of course, going to get advantage off that and be able to keep sort of pushing this offense.
Yeah. If Zolt's going to start winning strikes, he's going to have to start doing that soon. He wants to exceed, and he has only one of his transforms up, and nothing engaged really. Well, it's just the one.
Now, with all of Zolt's options, all the ways that he can get away, if you're Bison, you're coming into this with so few cards in hand. I mean, how comfortable can you feel swinging into Zsolt, even at this range?
I think you've got to feel pretty safe at this point. You've won pretty much every strike, or traded at the worst every strike so far. So.
Bison taking the boost off that head stomp gives him just full out stun immunity. And of course, stunning, one of the best ways to stop somebody from hitting you back. The other one moving away, and moving away from Bison is notably difficult.
And not always advantageous, because if you do manage to move away, you are in the Bison zone. But here comes out an EX strike. This is going to be pretty hard for Zsolt to deal with.
Yeah, honestly, if I was Zsolt here, I mean, your options are very few. I think a block would almost be appropriate. He certainly has the cards in hand if he wants to build up some armor on it.
Absolutely. As long as he's got it.
Yeah, I mean, if he blocks, really, the worst case scenario for him is a somersault skull driver, or skull diver, which ignores armor, so eats that block. But anything else, he might just be able to tank through it if he chooses to do so.
Yeah.
Looks like he's thinking about a wild swing, maybe.
Yeah, I think at this point, that if you don't have the block in hand, that's your best bet, because otherwise you're losing whatever it is you do have. Plus, if you don't have it in hand, that means 2 of your 15 cards there are block.
Yeah, it's hard to think what else he'd do here at range 1, as far as other options go. You know, he could Fatal Eye, but that Power 1 isn't going to stop anything Bison throws, even if he does outspeed it.
Yeah. Well, I believe it's Power 3 now, but even so... Or no, Power 2. Yeah. I apologize. But even so, Stun Immunity is one scary option here for him. Alrighty. Looks like the EX was Psycho Punisher there into focus.
That's going to be really rough.
That's nothing. That focus is gone. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a full, what is that, 10 power Psycho Punisher coming out here?
Yeah.
With advantage.
Yeah. And after advance too, so he's going to be at range 2 there. I'm not really sure... Yeah, okay, they got it.
Bison tosses a lot of resources on that, but I'd say it was well used. It's a big hit and end up with advantage.
There's seldom too many resources to toss onto 10 damage. Like 10 clean damage?
Mm-hmm. If you're the Zsolt, you've got to be feeling the pressure. I mean, there's a huge life difference. You've got basically nothing in the gauge, certainly not enough to get you close to exceeding where you want to be.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, tilting aside, I know even just looking at a game like this, being on the other side of it, can feel pretty daunting.
Alright. Oh, here we go. This seems like a clean win for Zsolt here, even with the critical. Bison, of course, will advance, but he won't hit.
That's what Zolt's going to have to do if he wants to pull ahead. He's going to have to play as carefully as he can. He's going to have to stay on the defense and make those clean trades to build up some gauge.
Yeah, looks like he went ahead and used his UA there to retreat an extra space there, just to be absolutely safe. Also possibly telegraphing the Blaze of Fervor or the other Gunblaze in hand. Or Whip Crack, I guess. All of which would be pretty optimal at this range.
Yeah, Whip Crack is pretty solid. Lets him pretty much choose his range between his UA and the 2 movement options on Whip Crack.
Yeah. Also gives another transform in there, which allows him to exceed pretty quickly. So, I'm thinking he's probably going to try to get that on there. That's a very high value transform. I think if you're Bison here.
Strike coming out. Yeah, if I'm Bison, I mean, Bison doesn't have too many options at range 4, honestly. He's very much a 1-3. This could be a Psycho Crusher, and it is.
That it is. But it looks like, because Whipcrack initiated, there we go. And we've got that second transform in there. That's a nice +1 speed, so with that an advantage, I'm expecting to see an exceed here pretty soon.
Yeah, Psycho Crusher, rough to catch that Whipcrack, but honestly, probably not much Bison could have done there. I mean, it was that or a dive, basically, and both would have had the same outcome.
Exactly. Yeah, no, Whipcrack was a pretty safe option there. Good positioning by Zsolt. And there's the exceed. Zolt's exceed UA, of course, allows him to basically immediately execute another attack. Now, you're only going to get 1 damage off that second attack. Teching that light out there. You do not want Bison to have speed. But there's the second light. Nicely done. Notably, you only get 1 damage out of that. However, you do get the before-after passives. You get all of the effects of that second attack. So suddenly becomes very powerful.
Yeah, and Zsolt certainly has enough secondary effects that are all advantageous to him that he can certainly work with it.
Yeah.
Zolt's UA always sort of reminds me of Janet's UA on the Exceed side, and that they're both basically ways to just cheat extra attacks into the game.
Yeah. And just to answer your question, Joplick, yes, he was hugging Rage 1 early on. Yeah, Bomberman Hero, a game with a good soundtrack and okay platforming. Alright. Looks like he's going pretty far away here. I'm not actually sure what his plan is at this range. Other than
maybe he's just hoping that Bison will blow some resources having moved into him.
Yeah. Or perhaps he's just hoping to Wild Swing and make Bison waste that light from it. We'll see. Interesting.
Really, really safe before he does that.
Yeah. Interesting play.
I'm going to say he could be setting up for a really good wild hunt, but he certainly doesn't have the gauge for it.
Yeah. I don't think that's the case. I think Bison right now is deciding whether he wants to play his game or not. Does he want to advance, or does he want to let him wild swing himself out and take that time to come in?
Honestly, if I was Bison, I might consider just setting up. I mean, in much the same way that Bison has to move into Zsolt, Bison has some more, growth development setup he can do here, where Zsolt doesn't have much. So Bison could sit back here, throw cards in his gauge, get a nice full hand, and wait for Zsolt to come to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
The game's over.
The other thing is at this point Bison's winning, right? Oh, well, he's going to come in at least a little bit, but not quite into range 4.
Maybe Bison's hoping that Zsolt will come meet him in the middle.
Possibly. I mean, anytime you can make your opponent be the one to sort of push in, that's the case. There's also the possibility, if he has the other Head Stomp or Psycho Crusher, right? Those both are range 5 options that he has that Zsolt just doesn't have answers to, really.
Well, Head Stomp only gets the close 2 on the after, so...
Oh, sorry. I misread that one. But
yeah, Psycho Crusher, you're right though, advance 3 and then range 1 too, so he could swing with the Psycho Crusher, although I think he does have 1 left, yeah. He's used one, but not the other.
Yeah.
Or it could be just coming close enough to make Zsolt worry about a Psycho Crusher.
Yeah, I think both are strong options. Again, it's really Bison's game to lose at this point.
Yeah, Zsolt got the Exceed, and he's certainly had a few good strikes here, but that still doesn't quite make up for the pretty large gap in life that still remains. I mean, life isn't everything, but it's certainly something.
It is, however, the win condition. Alrighty. It looks like we're getting a card change from Zsolt here. So it looks like he was trying to get some options from what he considered a safe range.
If Bison has it, we could see a very, very good reading come out into a Psycho Crusher.
Oh no. Yeah, that'd be pretty rough result here. He's got a handful of cards here, and let's see here, what's he got in the deck left? 8 in the deck, so pretty safe here, because it doesn't look like, I don't think he's doubled up on much, so he...
Yeah, Bison could throw out pretty much anything and be safe to hit with that Psycho Crusher if he does have a normal.
Yeah. Oh, we got something coming out here.
Bison going in with a critical.
I think this is the Psycho Crusher if he's got it.
Then you can use that critical to end up at range 1 and get a card draw out of it.
Yeah. Zsolt here, not a lot of options left, though. I do believe that he could. At this point, he's going to look at a trade. But even if it's a critical, even a sweep or a focus won't be worth it, because the retreat 3 is a possibility as well, if it is.
Yeah, looking at Zolt's options, I don't see a lot of great choices for the trade besides, maintaining that distance. If he potentially does a sweep or something like that here, then Bison will just move out of it.
Yeah, I think his best bet here is to block and hope that he can take advantage of Bison moving in, or hope that Bison's just kind of bluffing and hoping he'll throw a bad option out.
Yeah, it could be a bluff, but that'd be sort of a pricey bluff between the life that Bison still has hanging around and
the critical?
The engagement to crit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
I like crit bluffing as much as the next guy, but...
Yeah, but it wasn't that. So there's a Psycho Crusher, and I imagine he's going to take a card draw here. Oh, he's advancing.
Oh yeah, it's advance or retreat, then draw, yeah.
Oh, it's both. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Psycho Crusher's real nasty. He can get in there, hit you, and then get out if he wants.
Did he draw for Psycho Crusher? I didn't see him do it.
I did not notice it. You might want to say something. Just to see 3, I don't think so.
Did not get answered on that one. I'm going to assume he did. We missed it. Alright. 4 spent for speed. Let's see, is anybody in chat catch? No, nobody in chat catch. Alright, Zolt's throwing a strikeout here.
Zolt sacrificed that Ultra to get just close enough for a couple different options.
Yeah. I'm thinking he's going for Blaze. I think he's going to try to desperately get his last transform out there. But, I mean, speed 6 at that point. Pretty good. He won't move enough for the advantage, though, so Could also be Whip Crack. We'll see. Whip Crack would allow him to pull Bison in one and then advance one, putting him at that very good range 2, which I think he prefers, but...
But, I mean, worryingly here, if he throws a Blaze, he's forced to advance, or Whip Crack, he might be pressured to advance if Bison has a sweep. That could be pretty bad for a Blaze. I mean, that'd be a very advantageous trade for Bison. Yeah, that'd be game, in fact.
Alrighty.
Playing it safe with the focus.
Looks like it's focused into Blaze, which is going to leave Zsolt with exactly 1 life. Well, no, not necessarily. He has his ability. He could actually skate out of this. If he has, for instance, a cross or a dive. Though I don't think he has any dives left.
Enough, yeah.
I don't think he has any dives left. He does, however, get the transform, which means he has all transforms and succeeds, so it's not looking as bad as it was for him just 1 turn ago.
Yeah, it's peak Zsolt.
Let's see if he decides to pull out any way to escape. Is he going to Wild Swing with his ability? He's thinking about it. I mean, listen, it's better than needing a focus.
Execute an attack from hand, so I don't think he has the option.
Oh, okay. That'd be
be wild.
Yeah. He's gonna run an assault. He still has 1 more execute from hand available to him, so and he gained advantage there, of course, so he will draw a card, which I think was what he wanted. Trying to see if he can see any way to get out of range of this focus.
Asking if he took 4. I mean, we can certify he did not take damage.
Yeah. You got it?
Yeah.
Correct, -2 from armor. No, I believe... Hold on, let's see here.
Oh, he's not talking about this present strike, that's what I thought he was saying.
Oh, you do take... He takes damage from the... Armor doesn't carry over, doesn't refresh in between these attacks, is my understanding.
Oh yeah, I think that's correct. He was at 17.
Okay. Alright, so there's the assault there, and as I think somebody in comments called it, as somebody else called it, I think he was trying to draw into some way to move or attack out. Oh, he did draw the cross! There we go, that's free.
Yeah, so that's pretty good trade for Zsolt.
Yeah, all transforms, and he's closed some of that life gap. He's closed about 5 of that life gap. And put some real pressure on Bison to close in the distance, or he's going to keep doing stuff like that.
Can you rejoin and tap Zsolt? His card is just hanging out in the middle of the board for me.
Yeah, sure. Which card is it that's hanging out?
Zsolt himself.
Oh, Zsolt? Yep.
I don't know why these servers have been so bad. Well, I guess I know why. These
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's because...
Hope that's not weirding them out too much.
Hopefully. We'll check with them in between matches. I'm not willing to pull that. Alright, we got the block versus the Blaze there. Does not gain...
something pretty similar to last turn.
Throwing the evil eye out to gain advantage there. See if he spends the force for another one, but I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that is.
Well, he can build more armor and carry it through as long as it's not spent.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, if he took 4 and then another 1, that's basically treats it like 5. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, you're right. That is my understanding. I don't think armor applies separately to each. See if I can find a Marauder FAQ on that real quick. Oh, here we go. There's specifically an FAQ for it.
Excellent. I'm gonna be mad at myself if this was not the case.
It reads, if Zsolt executed multiple attacks, their defenses and passive effects are cumulative. So using Hunter of Men to play Assault Focus Block would result in... Oh, that's about adding his armor, not attack into armor.
I'm also gonna just throw that out to the Discord.
I mean, our job is to correct when we can, not be arbiters of tricky calls, so I think that... Oh, okay, they want to wait. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll, while that's loading up, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find that. Okay, I think I just saw that one.
Juppy says armor doesn't refresh.
That's my understanding as well.
Yeah, and I mean that's also how I've always played it, because it makes things like Zolt's Hunter of Men much less useful if it does.
Correct, yeah, then it's only secondary effects. Alright. Sorry for the delay, guys, we're back on.
Ruling or not, Bison's still in a pretty good position.
Yeah.
He's at range 1, he's pretty comfortable here, he's 7 life up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's still possible that he can just end the game with any given strike, so Zolt's really got to be very careful here.
Yeah, Bison has enough attacks with enough speed and damage on him. He's definitely a threat. Pretty much in the range between 1 and 4 that they want to play at right now.
Yeah.
And
And
if Bison can just trade, he's probably going to trade beneficially.
alright, and the strike from Zsolt here, which I think he basically has to strike every turn if he can at this point.
Yeah, he can't give that Bison an inch of breathing room or Bison's going to run with it. feel like this is a sort of a two unstoppable forces situation. We've got Zsolt fully transformed, exceeded, versus Bison just needing to deal 5 damage anywhere, any which way.
Yeah, no, this is, like, Zsolt has finally got his setup and his combo going, but it may have been too late for him. Wild swing from Bison, so probably going to see a couple more damage piled on here, but let's find out. Alright, dive
Rough.
into Evil Eye. Yeah, that's not going to do anything for Bison. Is Hunter of Men going to get called into play?
He's got a huge hand. Oh, no.
No. Interesting. I guess he's gonna follow up with advantage here. But I really thought, oh, maybe it is. Nope. He's just following up advantage by boosting Seeing Red. Draw 6 cards. Well, 5 cards, and then he's gonna take another action here.
He's got to be looking for some specific something here, right?
Maybe.
That many cards.
It's weird that he didn't do it at the beginning, but he may have just drawn Gunblaze over there. As some people in the comments suggested, it was weird for him not to use Gunblaze earlier when it was safe, so he may have just drawn that. Another wild swing from Bison here, and that's the grasp he was probably looking for, but it is the other Evil Eye, so he's probably not too happy about that one. Gaining advantage on that. Now, Zsolt is out of Evil Eyes, but what is he going to do with this advantage state? Looks like
That's what I was scared of. Yeah, Bison, that is pretty worrying.
Yeah.
Bison already on the ropes, wild swing twice in a row. Coming into the strike, this is a bad place to be.
Yeah, no, Zolt's really recovered here with these advantages here. This is what I meant by, like, you just don't make a mistake against Zsolt or you're dead. Looks like we're seeing the third.
The turns table.
We may be seeing a third wild swing here from Bison, and we do. And that's not going to beat Grasp.
Very damaging Grasp.
That's game 1 to Zsolt.
That was thrilling, game 1.
Yeah, no, really, really exciting. These are 2 very good players, so it's pretty fun to see that come out. Who do you think?
You know, commentating in the tournament, a lot of fun, but it is sort of like looking into my future at a big wood chipper that I have to jump through. Sometimes that's not so great.
I don't like thinking about that. Let's go back to commentating here. I am, I'm glad to see Snake here because they had Snake versus Mix as the finals, and then Snake went ahead and lost. So, real rude on his part. Who do you think we're getting coming out here?
Let me pull back up that sheet that just had all their.
Snake has Cyrus, Ryu, and Zsolt. General user has Tinker Knight, M Bison, and Eugenia. I think we're seeing M Bison return. I think
we just might. I would not want to play Tinker Knight against anybody that Snake has.
No, me neither, because his range is just negated by a lot of that.
Yeah, Cyrus is gonna be rough. Ryu would be rough.
I'm gonna call the canonical Ryu versus Bison match.
I think a return of Bison might also be a good pick here. Especially if he's confident in his Bison, and we have no reason to believe he's not. That was a very good Bison game.
Yeah, no, again, he got hit by Zsolt, but that was about all that happened there. Oh, looks like selections are being made, so let's switch back over to the fight cam.
We have 2 characters in the selection bag, the General and...
there's Ryu, and who we got from General User?
Oh, is it going to be the Bison? I'm so excited.
It's canonical.
I don't know quite what their like official, we have the numbers on it matchup looks like, but I always have a good time playing Ryu versus Bison. Ryu in my experience fares pretty well because all that step in, step out kind of stuff just normally ultimately leaves Bison right in the range where Ryu wins him.
Okay. It looks like there was a false, potentially a false start with that. It may not be Ryu. Oh, but it is. It is Ryu. And it is Bison.
Ryu and Bison.
Canonical matchup. Main character versus final boss.
Alright, I'm going to take a 1-minute break here and let you man the mic, and I'll be right back.
Excellent, excellent. Guys, I found out I still have pina colada mix, so this has been a great time for me. Sipping some pina coladas and seeing some very good Exceed here. But we are about to switch to the Street Fighter Third Strike soundtrack here, because this is a Street Fighter matchup. Now, so this is sort of an interesting one here because Bison can threat in all sort of ranges. Ryu here is going to have to play a little bit more honestly than you would normally see from a Ryu. There we go. Because he's just got those spams normally, but Bison has a couple things that I think could threaten him at some of these ranges here. We'll see. Alrighty. Alrighty, looks like they're kind of staring each other down there. Looks like we've got a prep to start with on the Ryu side here. So he's gonna just kind of get his options up to deal with Bison. Did bring Bison dollars back online if Bison has it in hand. But it looks like instead he's going to use Bison action to go ahead and basically card change, except it goes into Gauge. Very strong UA, and this is actually, I think, the first time we're seeing it this match. So.
Seems like it. I'm back, and whatever you just said, I'm sure was very insightful and accurate. I feel confident.
Me as well.
So Bison, interestingly, one of the few characters that it's not entirely safe to sit here and just chuck Hadoukens at.
Yeah.
Not a range 4 at least.
And it looks like Ryu's going to take that to mind, and he's going to move to and then strike here with his lightning reflexes. And it's an EX. Exciting. Good way to start.
Ryu coming in very aggressive right out the gate.
Yeah, he prepped earlier, but I think he's gotten all the pieces to the Millennium Box here. He's assembled his puzzle, and he is ready to go.
It's a really good way to describe somebody getting ready to hit somebody else. He's assembled his puzzle, and now hit him in the face with it.
Hey man, listen, it's like he's got that, like, it's like in those 80s, 90s action movies where they like take a very long time to put together their sniper rifle.
Yeah, they're a pro. That's why they have to get there in the last minute and quickly slap everything together.
Yeah. They know what creates tension.
I agree with General. This is a rough situation. Range 2 coming in with an EX. This could be any of a number of very difficult to answer things.
Yeah, it's a big, strong mix-up here from Ryu, king of the basics.
I feel like this could not unreasonably be an assault. An EX assault would be very hard to answer right now.
How about EX Spike? EX Spike does get answered. Looks like a critical here, so that's a 6-speed head stomp. Which would have also been an answer to, well, not an answer to EX Assault, mind you, but that'll stun it too.
Rough throw going into as much close in advance as Bison has.
Yeah. Well, no, hold on, that won't stun, but it'll miss.
Yeah, the range just shoots right past him.
Yep.
Now both spikes are gone. Bison doesn't feature a ton of guards, so it's not as bad as it could be, but it's not always the position you want to be in.
Yeah. Oh, apparently my my shield banner's covering the boost area. Sorry. Yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of those there for you. Yeah. Really strong start from Bison, which is good because Bison does need to cover some ground here. If he can get this victory here, this is going to bring us to game 3. Otherwise, if we get the canonical ending, that's it right there. Shadaloo is defeated, and General User has to go home.
Yeah, it'd be rough. Bison suffering that loss. I mean, very... For a match that's going to feature one of the two of these players getting knocked out, very appropriate, let me say, for the final boss to be defeated and finally vanished and all that. Well, I'm sure it's not quite the way that General would have wanted to go out.
No, I'm kind of hoping that Bison wins this one and we get a different final boss. Find out the power behind the power.
Surprise, it was Tinker Knight the whole time.
I mean, it's either some nerd or a librarian, so... Alrighty. Looks like we've got a critical strike from Bison here, so it could be a number of different options. Let's find out what it is.
I just learned this great new Ryu tech being taught at by Bub, but I'm sort of hoping we get to see it. Awesome grasp.
Yeah, Grasp will stuff across to that range, but you've got to try it, I guess. Alright, we see a Ryu action here. Which means both UAs have now been used as actions, and can be safely ignored once more.
I feel like between the two of them, I mean, Ryu's UA is good for what he wants to do with it, but I feel like Bison's is just sort of generally better.
Bison and Guile, in my opinion, have some of the best UAs because I think card change is one of the more valuable actions. It's definitely undervalued for what it is, but out of the Street Fighters, I think those two are probably the best UAs because it's just do a thing you already want to do and then get benefits from it. Whereas Ryu,
yeah, and again, not to say Ryu's is useless. I mean, the range fixing is good, especially if you're at 3 and you'd really rather be at 2 for a lot of his better options.
Oh, absolutely. It's just not do thing you were going to want to do anyways fairly regularly.
No. Honestly, a lot of my favorite UAs are ones that are just fully passive, not a full action. Like Carl's, you know, he just has some extra armor, and then he has extra armor, and suddenly all of his normals are very scary.
I mean, anybody who knows me knows my favorite UA is, oh, hey. It's parry attack. But my favorite UA is always going to be Minato's. Just get things for free. Shame they never...
That Netsu, you're obviously probably worried about Way of the Warrior on there.
Yeah, probably. I mean, +2 power, +2 speed's pretty good. Alright, got a focus from a somersault scarred driver. I didn't see him critical that one, did he? So he's just gonna eat that. He's gonna eat that focus. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Focus versus focus. I apologize. I misread there.
Back and forth looking pretty good for Bison so far.
Yeah, I mean, 8 life is a big advantage.
Yeah, it's a comfortable strike, basically. You can completely botch getting completely laid out by something and still pretty much end up using for it.
And then there's also the fact that he's at range 1 versus Ryu, which also feels like a pretty strong spot to be in. I mean, here gets the parry to get rid of one of Ryu's range 1 options, most likely.
Yeah, that's sure you can.
Yeah.
Always gonna get those out of there.
You do not want to attack into that.
No, at range 1 or range 2, I mean, it's at range 2, especially on the defensive, it's basically just a grass with extra range and power.
Yeah. And we're going to see a Ryu action, changing sides.
That's 2 Ryu actions. Third, I'll get to mark off the space on my bingo card for this set.
Alrighty. Bison considering his options carefully here, unsure if the other Shoryu is still in play, or rather in Ryu's hand.
So far, this Ryu seems very comfortable staying at range 1. A lot of Ryus prefer a little bit more space, so we could be seeing a setup either now or a little bit later for a pretty nasty 1-inch punch.
Yeah, I think the main reason he's probably so comfortable standing there is he knows Bison has as few options as he does, and just doesn't want to trade with Bison at a higher option. But we're going to see the second Shadowloo Intelligence coming out. So Somersault Skull Driver is offline for those keeping notes at home. And it looks like he, whatever he called is not there. So let's take a look at see what that was.
Assault.
Assault? Yeah. No assaults there. 1-inch punch, both copies. Cross, grass. And now we understand why Ryu was so comfortable at range 1. Cross, grass, sweep. Just a lot.
Yeah, and EX 1-inch punch, very nasty.
Yeah. Nasty.
And 3 armor, 7 guard, 6 power, and a push. And push into that Hadoken there, we see.
Nasty mix-ups online. Asking if that lets them see before. It does if there is no card to see, because he doesn't strike. Alright. Also, I really like this play on Snake, just leaving his hand open from this point forward. I suspect that'll pop up as soon as he needs to actually do anything, but it's, he's in no rush to do it, and I think that's some real confident swagger.
Yeah, it's a very confident kind of play he's doing here.
Yeah, you can see my hand, it's fine. Looks like we've got a parry. Let's take a look and see there. For focus, there is, of course, no focus here. We've got Assault.
Looking at 2 spikes and Assault, double reverse, Psycho Punisher, Nightmare Booster, and a Head Stomp. Pretty much the whole suite of really good cards Bison has.
I think this is a negative on your bingo card, though, because I don't think there's any way Ryu moves backwards at this time.
Now, I think if I was Ryu, I'd be pretty comfortable where I am.
Do not want to take a single step back.
Honestly, if I was Ryu, I might still say, you can see my hand, I can see yours, how would you like this 1-inch punch?
Yeah, I don't think you actually have an option for this. Especially that +2 speed still boosted.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing there is the double reverse. But yeah, with the speed, then 1-inch punch doesn't care.
Yeah. This is like Dragon Ball Z there, where they both like spend a little bit of time staring each other up and then just launch to a flurry of blows. I think we're about to see that next part here pretty soon, going into Ryu's turn. Boost from Bison here. He's going to go ahead and get that defense going. He's realized he's not winning on speed here.
Yeah, and General's picked his hand back up. Snake's still leaving it down.
Bison stancing himself up here for the oncoming attack.
Yeah, I feel like with what Bison had in hand, that's probably his best bet. If you can't get some speed and you can't get some distance, then you might just want to brace.
We're gonna need to, man. And Ryu says, no. What about if I screamed a little fiercely here? Exchange some dialogue here. D, you're eventually going to add this to a playlist. You should just put in some dialogue bubbles here about Ryu being mad that Bison killed his sensei or whatever Bison did to him. Alrighty.
I'm gonna be incredibly mixed up if they go into a strike and then Snake plays something from hand. Like from the non-revealed hand.
Yeah, from the new hand. Snake just considers these other cards dead. He won't play them.
It's a mark of pride. I just won't touch those cards now.
You can reading them out. That's fine. That's still valid. I won't use them.
The Sudoku is dead to me.
Alright, Bison considering continuing the boost war. Looks like.
If I was Bison, honestly, I think I might take a change to get some range 1 options.
Yeah. Or, what if you just struck instead?
Yeah,
Well, maybe. Hey, what if
to
we...
be fair to Bison, this is very dangerous.
Yeah. Hey, what if we struck on the 7th card playing mat? Or 7th cross playing mat?
Unless...
Alrighty.
He's played his strike, but now he's looking at his Ryu's cards. Is he just second-guessing everything? Is General deep in some 8th dimensional chess? Like, is he just inside of his Ryu's head right now?
I suspect he's trying to figure out whether or not to cross, but I do like that idea better.
But he's just sitting there in chat going, wait.
But do I critical? Huh? Alright, okay. Ryu says, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's the 1-inch punch, absolutely.
Yeah, did you have an answer for this? Doesn't look like you did. Because you didn't critical that.
There was no reality where it was not going to be that 1-inch punch.
No. So 4 to 6 here is a pretty good trade for Ryu. Speed spot. Oh no, the light was boosted. It's just straight up 6 to nothing. So 8 to nothing.
Ryu will take that.
Because Fierce is boosted too. Yeah. It's just yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as we discussed, you know, with the life advantage that Bison had going in, as rough as that was for him, you know, still comes out even. He's maybe not in the most advantageous board position, but...
I don't know. Range 4 is not terrible for Bison, though. But Ryu thinks it is, so he's going to go ahead and critical this here. Probably one of his many ranged options.
Yeah, all of his plethora of ranged Hadokens.
Yeah. He's got one for every time he hits. For those of you who are playing this matchup in any other video game, you can go ahead and just tilt your stick down and then towards your opponent and press that punch button and same result.
Only thing that really stops this Hadoken, I think, from Bison right now is he's got Psycho Punisher. He could hurt him from throwing this Hadoken.
I have to believe with that hand of cards and him choosing to begin this engagement that is on the table, but maybe it's not, and maybe that's why I got into losers bracket before either of these guys did.
I really think you're betting me out. That is true. Again, we could be doing some 4th dimensional chess. This could not be a Hadoken.
You think it's a token, but it's actually just a critical block. I mean, I think that's something I love about the Street Fighter characters is just throwing that critical mechanic in there makes faking out so much easier.
I love faking people out. If I'm Ryu and I have a little bit more gauge than I'm going to use, since I'm certainly never going to exceed, and you don't need to hold a ton for everything else he has, I love faking people out with the gauge.
Yeah. No, it's a really strong mechanic, and I think one of the best things about Season 3. Just in general, not just through the through the gauge mechanic, but also like I think a lot of characters have it. Like Joppy here mentions that Akuma has it, but also you can anger charge and oh, never mind. I'm gonna shut up for a second because we got the fake out cross. It was indeed a fake out.
It was the fake out, but the range is still advantageous for another Hadoken.
Yeah, I think you maintain that mix-up as long as you can, right?
Yeah, but I mean, at some point, you know, the bait has to end. Somebody's going to have to close this distance, and it's probably going to be Bison. So Ryu only has so much time that he can really play this game.
It's true. What if what closed the distance instead, though, was a fireball? That's the question that I think we're going to have answered here, live on stream. These are the kind of hard-hitting questions we answer here on True Moriarty. Matchup.
Really, if you're Bison right now, what are your options?
I think you said him,
Just-
Psycho Punisher, right?
Yeah, it's Psycho Punisher, except now, now he's sitting at 5, so Psycho Punisher won't quite do it anymore.
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Ryu gained one more space, which puts him in even better Hadokening shape.
I
Now
think
he really trades with everything.
he's out of
Not
Crushers.
trades, but just beats out.
He's out of Crushers, right?
Crusher's advance 3 and then range 1, 2, so Crusher's the only thing, but Hadoken beats a Crusher, they're both speed 4. Hadoken speed 6 if he crits it.
And we know he's out of parries, and he doesn't have Shadowloo Intelligence anymore, so...
Yeah, he can't do much about that. I think that Ryu's feeling really comfortable until Bison steps forward. Ryu's just going to get right to where he wants to be and throw a Hadoken at him.
Has Bison played any crosses? He did have
Well,
one.
now he has.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Mhm.
Advance. Yeah, I think I'd advance right to range 2 personally, but again, that's not me.
I mean, Bison has some good options at 2, he has some good options at 3. You can play pretty much all your options at 3 from range 2, though, except for Nightmare Booster.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can still play Nightmare Booster at 2.
Yeah, this is a much better state for Bison here. Some pretty intense footsies. I just really want to throw out this game. This game really models footsies exceedingly well. Pun not intended, but I'll take it.
I think with players who are both as good as these players, we're seeing a lot how critical something just one range can be, right? Just the difference between 2 or 3, or 4 or 5 is really, really significant here.
Yeah.
Whenever you're sort of playing at this level.
Also, I think this is kind of a power move from Ryu showing, yeah, I did have the Hadoken. He made the right decision coming in. Anyhow, here's a Shuriken. Head stomp this idiot. 7 damage. That's rough for Bison.
Yeah, good job moving in. You probably made the right call. I'm still gonna uppercut you though. Please accept the 7 damage.
That's true to Ryu's in pretty much any game though, is throw those fireballs and then if they dare come in, that's where you're punished with the Shuriken.
Well, let me correct us before chat does 6 damage.
Thank you.
Holster your keyboards, chat. It's fine.
So, I think this is a game we see go by without an exceed, potentially. Just looking at life totals here.
I mean, Ryu almost definitely will not exceed in any game. Full stop. And the thing to think, right, it's like a common joke that Ryu's exceed is trash, but really, to make his exceed worth the amount of gauge you have to play, you have to think to yourself, am I going to use my UA 3 times after I exceed? The answer's usually no.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well,
Alright, Looks like we're getting a change card coming out here from Snake.
Pretty strong there. Trading an Ultra always means you get 2 cards for 1. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he wants some more options.
That just refilled that hand right up. Oh, and then dealt 1 from his discard pile to both players. Alright, there it is.
A strong power move.
But not unreasonable. After all, the search and deal buttons are right next to each other, so it's very easy to do. Rearranging his discard pile to make it so that if he does go ahead and throw a Shayrukin, or not Shayrukin, sorry, a token, he can put that Ultra right into his gauge.
I mean, with how mobile both of these fighters have been, it wouldn't surprise me entirely, but I would be pretty surprised if we end up in a board state where Hadoken is the right thing to throw.
Yeah, but it's never bad to prep for it, right? Like, you always...
Fair enough. It's better to be prepared than not.
Yeah, you always want your Ultras to be on top if you are a Street Fighter character, because your recursive attacks will then put those right into the gauge, where they can be spent for 2 force at any time. Smart play. That's just kind of the high-level stuff that brings Snake to, or one of the things that probably brought him to World Championship. And, ooh, both speed and guard.
Yeah, Bison getting ready for a real strike here, but Way of the Warrior, of course. I mean, it's basically 2 boosts for the price of 1.
Way of the Warrior is really good. That's why it's attached to an Ultra, I'd imagine. Alright, and Ryu says, no, I still have 2 speed.
No, I will go first, thank you.
You may
Are we
think.
going to see the world's most excessively fast Shuriken? Those are always my favorite. If I can bust a Shuriken at speed 9, yeah, that's a good day.
Speed 11. Technically.
The fastest punch in the world.
Eeny, meeny, miny, Shoryuken!
That was one of the things that stood out to me in the casting and commentary of my first match. I can't remember who was casting it, but I threw, I think, a speed 9 Shuriken, and somebody went, excessive.
God bless! Alright, well, I gotta find that match and watch it now.
Yeah, I had another moment where I was playing Imogene, I got off Martyr's Lash, and I chose not to transform because I had no transforms in hand. I'd mulligan 6 cards away, drawn 6, no transforms at all. And so I was like, oh, the casters are going to think I'm just an idiot. I have no transforms. And sure enough, I listened to it, and he was like, why isn't he playing a transform right now? Did he forget?
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you in on a very secret tech that I accidentally used once, but I don't recommend using, lest it become obnoxious. But if you press V at any point, or C rather, whichever one's the toggle real voice chat, at any point during your match, most casters just record off their desktop audio. I'd certainly do. It's the easiest way to do it. You will then be heard by them.
And now both I and everyone watching has this dark knowledge.
Please do not abuse this. Alright, we see a parry coming out. What do we got getting parried here? Donkey kick. Yeah, no, definitely. You don't want Donkey Kick at range 1 with all that speed. And there it goes, into the trash can.
Yep. That could have been the beginning of a really long line of assaults coming out for Ryu. Ryu can Donkey Kick at range 1 and then go into an assault, and then take that assault into a Tatsumaki and just sort of get advantage on all of them and hit you for 15 damage.
Yeah, no, definitely a smart play on Bison's part, which is why he gets to be the dictator of the whole world, and Ryu gets to couch surf, I guess. Does Ryu have a home in canon? I don't know. Ryu, stop!
think so. He only... Oh, wow, Ryu.
Ryu has +5 power, +3 speed. Ryu, you need to stop. Your Kaioken has gone too far.
Prepare for the world's fastest sweep.
Alright, cool. We got
Bison coming back, also with another light.
Ryu here with effectively +1 speed, but it's going to be some ridiculous numbers here either way. I mean, at this
If you
point...
guys have ever wondered if Discord meta is alive, Discord meta is alive, baby. The boost is real.
What if... I mean, at this point, a dive is now a +2 speed, so that's good to know. +2 armor if you're Bison. +1 power if you're Ryu. Let's find out what happens.
Oh, with this much speed, absolutely anything is an option.
See, they didn't click the Green Hill Zone stage when they started, but they meant to. Ooh.
Both players looking at Ryu's discard, worried about what's happening here.
Alright, wait, hold on. Does he have the Shuriken or not? I know what you're thinking. Did he use one Shuriken or two? To be honest, in the boost warring, I lost count myself, so the real question is, do you feel lucky, Major?
Oh, if we see just the fastest possible Shoryuken right now, that would be so
I mean,
sweet.
It's threatening 12 speed. It's threatening 12 speed.
It's threatening the speed of sound.
If he had any way to get it out of his discard, it'd be threatening 11.
Oh my
Oh!
gosh.
13 speed! Unlucky! And Bison's had enough. He says, you either have it or you don't. Critical.
Well, Ryu has not a lot of options here. Ryu has 5 cards in hand, 1 in his deck.
Oh, please wild
Whatever
swing.
Ryu is doing, Ryu is so doing it.
I saw his hand hovering over his deck. I want +6 wild swing.
This wild swing would be so sweet.
+6 plus what? 2, yeah, +6 +4 wild swing. The scariest possible wild swing.
I don't even have a guess as to what Bison just threw. Whatever it is, it's gonna be very exciting.
These are big numbers, and I drank that pina colada a little too fast for these big numbers that are being thrown out here.
Oh, pina colada, you got all fancy. I just put vodka and lemonade.
I looked in my fridge and I had pina colada mix. I had 2 different flavored rums, and I had ice cubes that I just made this morning. So I was like, oh, cool.
There you go.
This is what's happening. Ryu.
He's just...
I mean, the good news is he doesn't have a Shuriken, right? As Bison at this point, if he's taking this time and doesn't slam down Shuriken, you're breathing a sigh of relief.
Oh,
That
fast grasp.
is a speed 13 grasp. And Bison, nope, but here's the thing. Oh, no, it does break it, because that's, what, +4?
Yeah, with the +4 between all that power.
So 7 damage. So
Fast
Bison
grasp
here will
behind.
take 6 damage. And be stunned.
Wild.
That was intense. I need just...
Discord meta is alive.
I need a second.
My co-caster has decided to take another pina colada break, and I support it, frankly.
Alright, I've calmed down now. My heart rate is back to doctor recommended limits. We're good.
Ryu took a long time to decide where to move Bison. I think Ryu is mostly just surprised at what happened too.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
We're probably about to see a Ryu reshuffle since Ryu is down to just 1 card in his deck.
Drunk Crunk Fraken, you're exactly right. This is a game. This is a game. This is Exceed, friends. This is 3,000 IQ exceed, and I have a mere... What's the average? I think 100, right? I have a mere 100.
This is definitely fourth dimensional chess.
This is a critical...
Are you going in for a crit strike after that?
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Versus a
Bison's
wild
got a
swing
wild
here.
swing about it. It's, of course, the Hadokens are coming out.
Ryu said, did you forget? I have Hadoken.
Back on top. So Ryu earlier revealed a Hadoken in his hand, then lost the Hadoken, and maybe he was trying to make Bison think the Hadoken was not available somewhere. The Hadoken was magically offline.
The Hadoken was always online, and Ryu had it. But Bison initiated the strike, so what was he going to do about it?
You know Ryu keeps that MF thing on him.
He's always got those quarter circle forwards. His thumb, perfect rotator.
If you're Snake, is there literally anything you do besides reshuffle here?
I mean, if you're cheeky, you throw the Hadoken, but
It'd be real cheeky at range, too.
Yeah. I mean, the other one from hand. You make it look like it's a cross, but it's not a cross. I don't know how that hits, though, so yeah. No, definitely you're right.
You hope that Bison crosses, and then somehow you get guard and you
yeah.
him anyways.
Yeah, there's the part of the equation I don't have. But again, I'm already in losing. Well, I guess these guys are too. But like, they want to match in
losers here.
They want to match in regular bracket, and Snake's gonna win a lot more matches here. It looks like, unless Ryu pulls some, or sorry, unless Bison pulls some real amazing plays out right now.
Yeah, what can I say? I mean, there've been a couple strikes lined up here, and they've all been wildly energetic and all in Ryu's favor.
No.
Ryu hasn't lost a point of life since Bison was at 28, or Bison was at 28.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm gonna rewatch this match tomorrow after I wake up. But this has been...
Ryu retreats, Ryu draws Hadoken.
Yep. It's online, boys. Bison...
Yeah, good play, Bison.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get Hadokened again.
Ryu says, do it, strike, cool.
I dare you, bro.
Snake living dangerously at 4, just 4 cards.
Alrighty. Did you say no cards?
Snake has no secrets, and Snake is not afraid to tell you about it.
Playing hand open says, listen, do you have an answer for Donkey Kick? Do you have an answer for Hadoken? If you do, I'm going to block.
Yeah, throw whatever you want. I'm going to block it. I'm going to Donkey Kick you. I'm going to Hadoken you if the Donkey Kick doesn't kill you.
I, for real, thought General User was about to reveal his hand apropos nothing.
This does seem like the fair thing to do.
I mean, that's a power play. I would respect it. Well, something like that happening. We got a bunch of gauge here. Are we about to see a Bison flip?
Is that a huge? No, that's a huge card change. 5.
Oh. Oh, hey, he is going to reveal his hand, just not for the reasons we thought.
This is wild.
I mean, Cross pretty much beats everything but block. But then it puts you in Hadoken land. So...
Yeah, I'd be very worried about crossing away and ending up inside of a Hadoken right now.
I mean, especially with Ryu has 1 gauge online, which is exactly the amount of gauge he needs. Prep from Ryu.
Okay, Ryu gets his deck back.
Ryu now has mix-ups back online.
That's right. That could be any 2 cards. Nobody knows.
It's the other Hadoken, though. And
Yeah,
grab.
nobody knows, but I definitely know it's the other Hadoken.
I feel it in my
Or
bones.
It's 2 grasps, so that right now he can throw in EX grasp.
All right, reading here. What do you read out? You read out the
he's got
block, and then you assault into it for the, yeah.
Yep. Get the block out, get the advantage. Get the gauge.
And then we're going to get a normal strike here. Bison thinks that he can beat whatever Ryu was showing you beforehand. Which, to be fair, I mean... not impossible.
The only question is, what will this be? I mean, Bison has...
It's not a critical.
options.
That's what we've
Yeah,
just
it's not a
determined.
critical. This could be... what, dive? It could be Psycho Crusher. Yeah, he could be trying to dive fast and hope that Ryu doesn't have any faster options this close. Could be a cross.
I think it's dive. Ryu cross there. Yep, that's game.
Yep.
Or not game, but
Yeah, Bison's sitting at 1.
technically not game. But is there any way that Bison deals 18 damage before Ryu deals a single damage?
I don't know, we just saw Ryu deal 27 damage and only take 2, so anything's possible.
That's true. That's true. But I think if I'm Bison here, I'm shaking in my boots.
Yeah, especially, I mean, being 1 match down, being at 1 life, this is about as on the line as you can be right now. And again,
And there's the light.
Yeah, somebody's just so good at connecting with damage when he needs it.
There's the light, and your dive is in the discard pile, not in your hand when you need it. This is rough. He's throwing a strike into light.
That cross just to get away, hoping that Ryu isn't drawing a Shuriken.
I mean, yeah. Ooh, I don't like it.
It's not a good long-term strategy, but it might keep him alive this turn.
And I guess that's where you are as Bison. Ryu just face-up drops the 6-speed Donkey Cap. Block. So push
He's just
2.
gonna get shoved off into the distance and block it.
There's... oh, and there's the damage. He does live this turn, but now he's in Shuriken land. And here it goes right down. Critical Shuriken, definitely. Yeah.
It's Hadoken City. There's nothing else
For
happening.
Hadoken, right? Not
It's gonna be
Shuriken.
Hadokens until Bison's dead.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't read, so this is very difficult for me to differentiate between the two of them.
Don't
But-
worry, it's what Codecaster's for. I can move my camera.
Yeah, that doesn't beat it, and that's game, unless I'm
Well,
missing
indeed,
something.
yeah. No, that's definitely game. The speed is with the Hadoken.
Yeah, no, he put himself in Hadoken City, and listen, the rent here is high. Canonical ending. Good game on both parts. Definitely rough on
Yeah,
Bison
it was,
for the last half, but
It was a high-intensity match. That match was almost an hour long. Just a very strong back and forth. Great showing from both players.
yeah. Hey, you're also in losers bracket, right?
Yeah, I just entered tonight.
You have to fight the winner of this match to proceed.
Hey, listen,
Uh-huh.
I want to think about it.
This-
Before I get to Snake, I'm gonna have to fight Byron, and he's the only person who beat me in my group, so I have other things to worry about right now. You know who else I'm gonna have to fight? You.
Oh, hell yeah. Listen, I'm pretty trash, except for my Monado is good. Took the only win off of Mix in my pool. I'm gonna quickly brag
Yeah, you
that.
can hang your hat on that. Yep.
The only person who took wins on my Monado this entire tournament is Tabby, who's the person who sent Snake to losers. So I feel very strong in that one. None of my other characters. You'll get the overall win, but it won't be a 2-0.
I'm just hoping that I can, hold in there. I'm aiming for top 24. I think I have a non-zero chance of making it to 24.
Exactly. Well, really quickly, I want to throw out my I'm pull my shill filters back on here. I want to thank both of these guys, General User and Snake, both incredible players and gave us some incredible matches here. If you liked what you saw and you wish to try out the game, obviously you can, of course, purchase the game outright at level99store.com. But if you're unsure, you want to try it yourself, hold those cards in your hand, physically, not just digitally. You can do so at try.exceedfightingsystem.com, where you can get the Ryu, as we saw, a very strong character, and Ken, another strong character, starter deck. These are the official characters. You could play these exactly as you would buy or receive them, not even buy them, in tournaments. But you would not have to pay anything. Just give Level 99s your email address so they can contact you and send them to you over the mail. Do you have anything you'd like to add before we head out here, Odin?
Just to follow up on that real quick, I mean, as you all have seen here, if you're on the edge, you don't want to commit to learning Ryu and he turns out to be trash. Ryu's great. I mean, you saw here, and Ken's very well matched with him. It's a great place to start learning the game, and honestly, Ryu versus Ken is probably the best way to go about learning the game if you're just going to get one thing. So I definitely recommend you check out Exceed if you haven't already.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that said, have a great night, everybody, and don't forget to change card action. That's my. I stole Marco's thing. Oh wait, I didn't stop streaming before I said I stole it from.